Hey, what is up? And welcome to Goddess on the Rise. I am your host, Sarah Burke, and if you're here, thank you. This podcast is all about being real, raw, and authentic AF. So if that's not your vibe, go ahead and skedaddle. But for the women who are here, this is your time to step in your power, to be confident as fuck, and just be that self-loving goddess on the rise that is in every single one of us. So buckle up, girlfriend. We are going on a ride. Hey. What is up? You guys, I freaking missed you. I know. Happy 2021. This is my first podcast episode of 2021. I know it's been a hot minute. I freaking missed you guys so much. But y'all, I needed a minute to kind of just like revamp, figure out where I was going with the direction of the podcast, and really just heal from my foot surgery, which many of you know who follow me on social media that I went under for a foot surgery, and the healing journey of it has been a shit show. Not even gonna lie. Not gonna lie. But anyways, as I am sitting here, I want today's episode to be super fun, super lighthearted, and super juicy. So your girl is spilling the tea today. We are going to be talking about ex-lovers. And if you grew up with me in my small town, you'll probably be like, oh, I know who she's talking about. And if you didn't, then maybe you can relate to some of the shit I went through. Because girl, let me tell you. In fact, I already know you can relate because it's just, you get it. I know you get it. But on top of me spilling the tea, I'm also going to tell you why it led to me finding my confidence, finding my truth, and knowing my damn worth. So if you are single, buckle up. You're going to want to listen. And if you are married, then girl, I know you can relate. So here we are, 2021, and I just want to say thank you for freaking being here. You probably already can tell by the tone in my voice. I'm recharged. I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling really good about this podcast. Here's the thing. You guys know the story about how the podcast started, right? And then it just kept going. And then I was like, oh, wow, this is really, really cool. I freaking love podcasting. And then life happened, and then my views started going down. And overnight, I was like, gosh, this is really draining. This is really hard for me to show up in this space because it's just me talking into this microphone, right? Like, I have no idea who you are on the other side, who's listening. Now, with my audience on social media, like, I can see who's interacting with my stories, who's liking my stuff. Like, I can put a name to the face, right? So if I don't know you are listening, I don't know you. And that's really hard for me to feel connected on this episode, on these podcast episodes. And it's hard for me to understand what you want and what you like to hear. So if you're not already, please follow me on social media at Sarah Brooke Berg. That you can follow me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I am there all across the platform, Sarah Brooke Berg. Okay. So yeah, do me a favor, do that so I know who you are. And that way I can figure out what the heck you like, what you don't like, what are your favorite episodes. And it's always really interesting to me, the episodes where I spill the damn tea, aka my sister's birthday episode. Y'all were like, oh shit, I'm going to share this with my friends. I'm going to share this all around. Like, everybody needs to know what's going on. And the episodes where it's just like really, really spicy or intense, you guys eat that shit up, and I get it. I love that. But I also wanted this to be a really amazing place for us to like connect and talk about the things that really fucking suck, right? So before, when I started and launched this podcast, I wanted it to be all about like self-love and confidence and healthy lifestyle. And now, as I'm a confidence coach, right? A self-love coach, I really dived deeper into that. And now that I offer those things like on a very personal one-on-one level in my coaching programs, I see the value in that, and I know where you struggle because if you are a client of mine, you've told me, right? Or if you've applied for coaching, you've told me. So here's the deal. I want to continue helping you guys really freaking feel the best, be the best, and step in to the true self-loving goddess on the rise that you already are, right? That's the name of the podcast, Goddess on the Rise. And there's a reason for that, because I truly believe that every female out there is a goddess. But it takes something to pull it out of them to realize that, like, hey, this is inside of me. Like, I truly am a goddess. And as we keep on rising up to being our true selves, we are stepping into this power, this goddess on the rise. So that is, really what I want to continue to do with this podcast, is to teach you, to help you, to guide you into becoming a self-loving goddess who is confident, who feels good, who trusts her own body and her own self, right? So in order to do that, I need to know you, and I need to know what it is that is helpful for you. Tell me what you're struggling with. Slide into my DMs, girlfriend. There's plenty of room for you there. Share this with your friends so I can know what they're struggling with, right? And this is completely freaking free, right? So I do this because I love you guys and I want to help you in a free way. It's my way to give back. That being said, I will start in with the juicy tea, but just know that this podcast is truly about you. I love you so much. Thank you for freaking being here, girlfriend. All right, so here we go. We are talking about ex-lovers. Yeah. When I say that, it kind of reminds me of like that radio show at night, like where they talk in that spicy voice. You know what I'm saying, girl? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I feel like I'm about to spill some shit that's like, maybe people don't even know, or maybe people are like, oh, what? Okay, so this all started from this TikTok, and let me see. I'm going to pull it up on my phone and share it with you guys. But it was so funny because I was seeing all these freaking people like post about it and like doing their own, I don't know what to call it, but like doing their own like TikTok to it or whatever. And I was like, oh, this is so funny because this is like me pre-husband. Okay, are you ready? I'll play a song. I'm crazy and drive you mad, then I'm just a stalker, a watcher, a psychopath. Okay, I heard that song and I was like, that was me pre-husband. Like, oh my gosh. So me. So tell your friends that I'm crazy, that I drive you mad, that I'm such a stalker, a watcher, a psychopath. And what is so funny about that is like I used to tell my husband, like, I'm really crazy. And he'd be like, what the heck are you talking about? Like, you are so fucking vanilla. No, you're not a psycho. But here's the real tea, sis. I used to be, right? And I feel like there is always that one, or maybe in my case, two guys that drive you so crazy that you become like this different person. You really lose yourself in all seriousness. And y'all, That was me to a T. So I want to start off talking about my number one ex. Yes, he's got a rating, y'all. And if you're from my small town, you probably already know the T, but here is some more of it. The really embarrassing parts is what I'm going to share, right? So there was this guy, I dated him for like 5 years, on and off through high school, a little bit in at the beginning of middle school. And excuse me. Oh my gosh. I had a burp. I'm not even editing that out. You guys are getting the real and raw today. So enjoy. But anyways, so there's this guy I dated, right? And all throughout high school, on and off, all the time, because he could not figure it out, right? He could not figure out if he wanted to be with me. Ladies, take it from me if you are single. That is your number one red flag. And let me tell you what, I already know you probably ain't going to listen to me because I wouldn't have listened to nobody back then, right? I just knew that he was older than me and he was tall and handsome and dreamy. And oh my God, an older boy was interested in me. Like, freaking alert the headlines. I thought I was hot shit, man. And so I spent a lot of my high school years wrapped the fuck up in him, right? Oh man, that boy wrecked me. And I'm sure y'all have probably been there. But honestly, all the time, constantly texting other girls, showing me pictures of other girls, all while I was like freaking a big doe with like big eyes, like, like I fucking love you. Oh my God, that girl's so cute that you're talking to. But anyways, I love you. Like, just ridiculous shit, y'all. Like, really ridiculous. But to just kind of move it along with the T, he had been cheating on me, shocker, forever. Not me pausing this podcast episode to take a FaceTime phone call from the bestie, Brandy. If you're listening, I love you so much. Anyways, back to it. So he was cheating on me for like a year and a half. The boy has the nerve to call me up at 2 a.m. on freaking Valentine's Day to tell me, yes, I've been cheating on you for a year and a half. Bitch, what? Like, what are you talking about? Okay, here is the low-key tea. I knew he was cheating on me. I didn't want to face the facts. And if he wasn't going to tell me, I was just going to be so like freaking like still love him and you know, be like, oh, okay. I'm just going to ignore the fact that there's girls tagging you in a hotel, posting pics of you on social media. I'm just going to ignore that. Don't see it. Don't know about it. And, you know, act like it's not happening on Facebook and, you know, just keep acting like we're in a relationship, even though you ignore all my phone calls and I stalk you like crazy. No big deal, low key, no big deal, right? And then once he told me, I was like, shit, you know, I have to face the facts. I have to face the music. Like, all right, well, that sucks. Now that you told me, guess I'm gonna have to break up with you. Blah, blah, blah. But let me tell you guys, this is where the psycho part comes in. I don't know if he knows this because we've talked since we've broke up. But I freaking cringe. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, this makes me almost sick admitting it out loud. Like, I've only told some of my friends, not all of my friends, about this. But I used to be so obsessed with this motherfucker that I would freaking call him all the time whenever I got drunk. And I would star 67 it just to hear his voice say hello. Like, how pathetic of me. Oh my God, I'm so judging myself hard. And I really shouldn't be. Knowing my worth. Hello, here I am showing up. Confident bish. Anyways, I really know I should not judge myself for this, because honestly, the shit he put me through, like I was definitely messed up, and I was going through it, and I was feeling all the emotions. But one time I remember in college, I was like, and this is not even like a year, this is like a couple months after the breakup. And I would literally, get drunk. I was hanging out with some of my guy friends, literally just guy friends. And they would call his phone off of my phone, pretend to be my boyfriend, and they'd be like, you missed out on a bad bitch. Like, Sarah's the shit. Like, you fucked up, blah, 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 blah. And I would star 67 it. And they would like still call me out on the voicemail. Like, I wasn't trying to hide that I was calling him. And for some reason, like this boy, he freaking knew it was me calling, and he would still pick up. Like, don't even get me started. He was into the mind games just as much as I was playing them, like hardcore. He fucking knew it was me calling, and he just pick up anyways and let me, cry or scream into the phone, or have random guys leave him voicemails. Like, it is what it is, And so I would say that's probably the most psycho I got with him. But then there is the other guy. So this isn't really like an ex-boyfriend type of deal. This was like an ex-lover, an ex-friends with benefits, okay? And let me tell you the tea on this. I say all of this really lightheartedly, like laughing and stuff like that, but I'm telling you, like, I get it when you're really in deep. Like, when you're in deep, when you think that they're the one, when you are, falling asleep. Let me tell you what, Drake, the Take Care album, he took care of me when I was going through the breakup. He really took care of me. And I'm telling you, like, if you knew me back then, you don't know me now, because I was a totally different person. Like, in part of my healing journey, I've literally gone back to that version of myself, and I have hugged her and told her everything is going to be okay, because wow, I really remember going through it and feeling those emotions. They were so intense. They were so deep. They were so real. So like, if you're out there, if you're going through a breakup right now, my best advice to you is to feel the shit. And don't judge yourself for what you're going through. Don't judge yourself for how you're going through it. And definitely go through it completely, 100% completely. And I'm telling you, it's probably not going to look like getting under someone else. Or on top if you prefer. Let's keep it real. Anyway, I'm telling you guys, I really wanted to start showing up. And I've told you, like, this podcast is very real, raw, and authentic. And there's a piece of me that I feel like I've been struggling with being 100% authentic, but I'm showing up more and more and more every episode, every day online as my authentic self. And it's really just being like, just really honest and like laughing and making these really inappropriate, funny jokes. And I cuss. And that was one of the things that I started doing in 2020, was not being afraid to show up as cussing. I know this is like a totally side topic, but I really just wanted to, put that out there. Like, in these upcoming episodes, you're really going to hear me be me. Like, you're going to hear my personality come out more and more and more. And, that's a really good point. Like, as we're talking about these breakups, right? Is like just figuring out, when I was in high school, when I was in college, when I was going through this breakup, I didn't know who I was. I was always his girlfriend. And I took on that like it was a personality, like it was an identity, because I didn't freaking know any better. I had no idea what a relationship looked like and what a healthy relationship looked like. And now, as I'm in my marriage, 7 years into my marriage, or actually 6 years into my marriage, 7 years in my relationship, I recognize, like, me and my husband, we are so much alike, but so much not alike. We have very separate personalities, identities. I like what I like and he likes what he likes. Some of that vibes together, which is great. And then some of it really clashes. And then some of it is just completely separate. But I am my own person first and foremost. It is me first in my life. And I really took that on and realized that as I started going through these breakups, as I started really like feeling myself and recognizing like I have to love myself first. So honestly, like, shout out to that relationship. Shout out to that version of me that I used to be, because without her, I would never be who I am today, right? And even though it still feels really real, those feelings that were there, they were raw, they were emotional. There was this sense of hurt there. And because of that, because I was able to go through that and get through that and be that person, I can be who I am today. It's such a beautiful revelation. But to go on in the true part of this, true title of this episode, in the Spill the Tea episode, I'm going to talk about my ex-lover boy, friends with benefits boy. And we are going to be talking about what that freaking looked like and my other psychotic episode that I had. And I say that very, very loosely, because honestly, I don't really think I say like I'm crazy, because for me, like the things that I've done, like that, you know, freaking calling on star 67, like crying on the phone when I'm drunk, that is super out of character for like who I am today. That was a really crazy moment for me. Like I was really down the rabbit hole. And now this next time I was the same. You know, men can do some really, they can really bring out some shit, you know, like of a person you are. But anyways, this next guy, okay, we were on and off, like friends with benefits. And at one point we were like, okay, like he was my rebound guy after my ex and me broke up. He was my rebound. And so we were friends with benefits for a long time. And I was good with it for the most part. And then at one point we were like, oh, you know what? We really love each other, right? And like, we're going to try to make this to be a relationship. And mom and dad, if you are listening, like, just stop. Like, just don't go any further with this episode. Turn it off. Please, for the love of God, turn it off. But I doubt they will. But anyways, so moving on. We decided we were going to try it out and like really just try to have a relationship. Well, this kid, he did not know the meaning of faithful, right? So he would be like there'd be girls on his Facebook status, like this one particular girl, I can't remember her name. But she was like messaging him and like saying that she was in a relationship with him and stuff. And I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? I thought we were in a relationship. And then he goes like, he just like quit texting me for like 2 hours. I remember this. And I called him damn near 200 times. I think like at one point I just thought it was really, really funny. And I just started like continuing on. And like my best friend at that moment, she was like, holy shit, like he broke you, like you are broke, what are you doing, like you cannot be doing that. And I'm like, I know, as I'm psychotically laughing, just hitting redial on the phone. And then he finally texted me. He was like, Sarah, what the fuck, dude, like, you know, stop. Also, like, I think I'm gonna explore options with this other girl. And he said that in not so nice terms, right? So but before that, I forgot about this part. Before that, we had drove past his house, me and my friend, because he was not answering my calls. And I was like, wait, what? Like, we were supposed to hang out, all this shit. So we drove past. There's this girl parked in front of his house. And I was like, what? So then we saw her car later that night. And so we followed it in the true stalker fashion. Like, I feel like I'm admitting to breaking some laws, but I don't feel like it's a law. I was just, I don't know. Anyways. So we followed her car. She ends up dropping my guy off. And I was like, we pulled up next to her and she was like, can I help you? And I was like, yeah. Are you dating him? And she's like, yeah. Who are you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm also dating him. And she's like, what? So we literally like exchanged numbers. She sent me all the screenshots. I sent her all the screenshots. And in true girl fashion, we took this boy down. But anyways, he called me one day. He's like, yeah, can I get my Jordans back? Because I had his Jordans. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Fine. And it was He drove past my house, pulled up in the street, and I was so pissed off at him. I took ripe bananas and I mashed them at the very top of his shoes. And I guess this is technically breaking a law because I'm admitting to, is that vandalization? I'm assuming it's probably vandalization of his property. But he did give it to me. So technically, if it's my property, I can do whatever I want with it, right? Like, I don't know the laws really that well. But yeah, I'm assuming I probably broke a law there. So anyways, I storm out the door. The door slams shut behind me. My sister and my best friend are inside. And I got to the street where he's parked, him and his little friends. And I throw his Jordans in the middle of the street. And I scream, "Fuck you!" So loud. And then I turn around and I stomped back inside. And I was so, oh gosh, when I tell you that felt so good. I screamed it. And of course, you know, it was like 10 o'clock at night, whatever. But as I was walking back inside, this is a total side story, but as I was walking back inside, our screen door, like if you slam it too hard, it gets stuck. And it got stuck. So here I was standing outside my house, and my sister and my best friend were trying to get the door open for me. And I'm like, okay, guys, like, come on. And it was so perfect because it really caused me to like laugh as I was like so freaking angry. But literally, those are my psychotic things. So that's the tea that I had to spill. But and maybe you guys are like, wait, that's all she did? Yeah, really, that's all I did. But here's the thing, like, it was really out of character for me. Like those instances were very like, that's not my vibe, like, at all. Like, if me and my husband were to ever, like, you know, get in a fight, like, I'm very so like we sometimes yell at each other. I'm not going to lie. I'm not even going to lie. But we're very much so like afterwards, you know, sorry, everything's good, blah, 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 blah. We work through our shit. But, and I guess it's because, you know, marriage is a lot different. And we've been married for a long time. But it just goes to show, like, what I would call fuckboys can really bring out a really negative side to you. But here is the moral of the story. I'm not just telling you this for fun or for a spill the tea episode. I'm telling you this because who I'm with today, my husband today, he is not like either one of those men. He very much so respects me. He recognizes my worth. And that is because not only does he know what I'm worth, but I remind him all the time. You know, and here's the thing, like, because of who I was then, I can be who I am now. Because of what I went through then, I can recognize what I deserve now. And what I deserve is a man who respects me, who freaking worships me, who loves me. And the feeling is very mutual, right? So I can communicate with him freely. He understands what I'm saying. Right? So someone who really just loves me. He loves my body. He loves my aura, my soul. He connects to it on a totally different level. And because of what I went through, I can be where I'm at today. And so this is just a really true reminder for you. If you are going through that, or if you have gone through that, or if you're healing from that, do it. Heal. And don't ever accept that from a man or a woman again. Recognize that, you know, you are who you are. And you are so worthy of a love that is both respectful, that leaves you feeling so good inside, and that really just makes you feel cherished, right? Communication is there. Respect is there. And I'm telling you, because of what I did then, what I went through then, I can be who I am now. I can be this confident, real, authentic, raw, self-loving goddess on the rise. You know, I really stepped in this true potential of myself. And it's all about, knowing your worth, especially when you're going through that, knowing you deserve better. You don't deserve to be cheated on, lied to, abused emotionally or physically. You don't deserve that. You deserve respect. And I think that is what so many women are lacking in the relationship. It's just basic respect. And I want to remind you, you are worthy of that. And you can absolutely be confident. And you can absolutely love yourself. And that should always come first in your relationship. Your love for you. That is your very first step to loving your partner, is loving yourself. I'm going to share with you guys a quote from I have read before, and it has left me feeling, I don't know, every time I read it, I'm just like, wow, that it is just so freaking deep. It's so freaking deep. So the quote goes on to say, he told me that he wished he had loved me better back then. Shit. I wish I had loved myself better back then too. And every time I read that, it really gets me in my feels, because forget the guy who didn't fucking love you back then. And remember the girl who didn't love herself back then. Go back to her, give her a hug, and tell her, hey, I see you and I honor you. And every single day I will work harder and better to love myself and to love you even more. Because at the end of the day, girlfriend, everyone else can leave you, but only you can be there for yourself. I love you so, so much. Happy 2021. This freaking episode. Snaps for that. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Anyways, I really enjoyed spilling the tea, giving you guys a little bit of drama. There's lots of drama in my life, I feel like. I really hate it when people are like, I don't like drama. Okay, well, pretty much everything is drama, I feel like. There's no actual calmness 100% of the time. There's going to be drama, but it is what it is, right? And then we move on. But anyways, if you love this episode, please give it a share, especially to the girl who needs to hear it. You know what I'm saying? We both think of someone when we hear that. Anyways, I hope what you gained from it was that you need to love yourself more, baby girl. And give this episode a 5-star rating. It would mean the world to me. Make sure you're following me on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at Sarah Brookberg. And 2021 is going to be a freaking badass year, even if 2020 sucked for you. And the reason being is because you, yes, you are freaking showing up for you this year. Make this year your best freaking year. I love y'all so much.